Well, here's a box I haven't opened in a while. I actually can't remember what's in this box, apart from the fact that it was dubbed the MP7 box when everything was moved out of the unit. So let's have a look. Yes, we can see many parts.
Times and run all the red lights across a million seas just to have you next to me. Paris and Tokyo, I go where I have to go. Screw geography.
And the MP7 itself. So we're actually going to have to get rid of all this wiring that I put on here, so we're going to have to pull that all back out, which is going to be fun. Sections here. Right. Gearbox. Don't need that anymore. Let's have a look what we've got in the Polar Star box. So we've got the unit, we've got some of the wiring for the trigger, we've got the FCU. Doesn't come with a battery, but we've got some batteries, and obviously all the bits from High Pressure Airsoft. Thank you to those guys for supplying this, because sourcing these things in the UK is a pain in the arse. So as you can see, it's very much the same sort of size, however no problems, loads of problems potentially. Put that to one side. The wiring for the FCU, we've got the wiring for the trigger. So the first thing we're going to have to do is pull this back apart and return all this back to its original state. So we'll do that first. So we just quickly pop some pins out and stuff, so we need this trigger mech out because we want this back to standard. We want these wires off. So let's get that cut off here. Hopefully that's in frame. Just going to cut the heat shrink off. Again, it would have been nice to have kept this electric and standard and just ran it on a battery, but down the line, I mean, especially running it in a sniper role as a backup, as I've said before, the last thing you want to do is rely on something like this and potentially break another gearbox casing or such. I am very interested in the new MP7 from Umarex and VFC. With a slightly bigger gearbox design, that looks cool, but to be honest with you, if this Polar Star build goes in just fine, I'll probably stop looking at that as well, because it's going to be expensive, and let's face it, this is going to be very reliable, a very reliable way to run this platform. I've already got all the mags and other bits and pieces for it, and the upgraded barrel and such. So let's pull this off. Now we need to desolder the connections. Oh, you're not light. Let's zoom you back out there a little bit. So, thanks to those that have been following this guide, I'm always a bit conscious that, you know, this is a little bit boring for you to watch. But I'm hoping that some of the guides we've done showing you how to take the gearbox and such apart is going to help if you just need to switch out a simple part. If you are switching out to the Polar Star engine for this, you won't have to do this step, you'll just have to take out your normal wiring. This is just because I've modified it already, because we're going to run it on lipos. Let's get this cooking. Come on, there we go. So let's get this pulled off. And I'm probably just going to end up getting, I mean, I've already got tanks and regulators like I said in the last video, but I'm probably just going to get like a small, unless I'm running this thing as a primary, which you very much can do. If you want some context to that, Go search for a guy on YouTube called Airsoft Alphonse. I believe he's in the States. Pretty funny YouTuber, to be honest. But he runs Polar Star stuff and he runs his MP7. And from the videos I've seen, he's ran that MP7 as a primary, and he does just fine with it. So it'll only be for when this is ran as a secondary to a sniper rifle that I'll probably use the small tanks, and then get the bigger capacity air tanks out when I want to run it as a primary. So let's pop that wire into one side. We may be able to use those batteries for something else, we'll see. So this is it. So what I'll do, I'm pretty sure we don't need any of these other bits, so they can stay like that. That isn't going to get touched. We do need to take the fuse out because we're not going to need that anymore. Let's just zoom you back out. Put the naked knife away. So let's put this back in. I'm going to slide this into place. We'll pick this bolt release, not that it does anything, but we'll put that in up next. This is the one that can be a little bit tricky. There we go. So it works. Perfecto. Let's put the fake bolt cover back on. That's in there. I mean, for an expensive kit as well, like you're pushing £500, it doesn't seem like the micro switch is being touched either. Yeah, that micro switch is definitely not being touched on full auto. You can see it there, but it's not pushing it down far enough. WTF. So that's on full auto now. If I put a little thing in, hear it click. So it's not being activated. So that's plugged in now. Let's put a battery on and see what flipping happens. Right. Powered on. So, safe. Like I thought, no full auto. Because that switch isn't far enough over to be pushed. But if I actuate the switch, so far it's a bit of a fail. Well, we're back together. That works, trigger works. Let's pop the FCU on. Come on. Now, I'm aware we have to put the wiring into an S bend. like so, and push that in. Worry about the rest of it afterwards. Make sure it still works. So can we hear it? No, semi-auto only, but at least it's functioning. Let's get the airline fitted. It looks oversized, this O-ring. Doesn't fit into the gap at all. Is that the only thing that seals it? Bloody hell. That and the one on the back. I think it's safe to say so far it hasn't gone smoothly. This O-ring looks oversized for the cavity that it's meant to go into. It just pops out. Right, that's in there. No leaks. Let's put a battery on, that'll help. So safe, semi. Obviously no full auto, but it works. There is an air leak coming out the back. It's actually coming from the hose, not the fitment. See if we can chrono this thing. Oh, right, let's see if we get any further. It feeds 320. Consistently about 320. And it's responsive. You can see that. Well, that's the furthest we've ever got.
Think I do want you next to me.